I'm Ashley Lindberg and I'm from Geo Bay Dog Training, and I'm going to be talking to you today about educating your dogs on how to leave the possums alone in your backyard. The reason why our dog will be going after possums in our yard is because there's possibly a boredom factor. They could also go after them just out of curiosity. They're kind of like, what is this? And go and investigate. It squeaks, it moves, and they go, oh, I'll play with this. And then we have our predatory drive as well, which is a little bit more intensive from a training side of things. So in relation to boredom, we want to set up our environment so our dog is less likely to get bored and go after the possums. We try some enrichment in the yard with our dogs. Enrichment can be activities that help work the brain, give them an outlet for a behaviour that they might be doing. So it works for digging, it works for destructive behaviours. So things that we can do to enrich our dog's environment. Snuffle feeding, or scatter feeding, so we could scatter their food into the grass and they can go about sniffing and picking up all their kibbles. Creating problem solving exercises for them, so I use a lot of Kongs and similar food based feeding toys, and rather than just giving it to my dog, sometimes I'll put it under a cardboard box. My dog has to find it and work out how to get the cardboard box off it. When the dog aces that, I might have a few cardboard boxes but it's only under one, so then my dog has to work out where that is. And we do a little game that we call minefield, so we have some buckets scattered all over the backyard, and there's only her favourite toys or treats under 3 of them, so she's got to pick out the one in the minefield. Bottles, plastic bottles with no lids if your dog isn't going to chew the bottle up, obviously safety of the dog, but I put a lot of their kibbles into the bottle or their treats into a bottle, and they have to flick it around and feed that way. So anything that's going to make your dog have to use its brain. So our next conversation is going to be about how we help with the curiosity factor. So obviously we're going to be trying to make our environment safe for the possum, for starters. So possums are more active at night time, so if we're keeping our puppies and dogs inside at night time, because during the day and into the dusk and that, we can be out there with our dog and controlling that and helping with that, which is what we'll be talking about shortly in the desensitization process. But when we're working on the curiosity side of things, our puppy is going to, or a dog is going to be interested in something new, like they always are. The first time they see a frog, they go, whoa, what's that? And then they might sniff it, then they'll put their nose on it, they'll paw it, they might even try to pick it up with their mouth. And similar things happen with the possums. The possums can sometimes be, they might make a squeak noise, which can excite the dog a little bit. They also scurry across the fence, which can also excite the dog a little bit. So when the dog gets feedback from something, they'll then go, oh, look what I made that do, and they'll continue the behaviour. So what we want to try to do is desensitize that curiosity. Like, we want our dog to be aware that there's a possum there but not care about the possum being there. So we go through our desensitization processes. We don't want our dog to be shut away from the possums all the time. Obviously when we can't be there to control them, we want to know the possums are safe. But if the dog happens to get outside, we want them to then go, oh, there's a possum, who cares? And that's what we're trying to get to with desensitization. If we avoid something completely for the rest of the dog's life, at some stage there's going to be an accident or some sort of chance meeting where we're hoping that our dog is going to have the right training there to respond appropriately. If we've avoided the whole time, it's going to escalate, or by putting the dog inside when it's already aroused by the possum, all it's going to do is move that arousal to inside, stare at the back door, scratch at the blinds and that kind of stuff. So we want to get it to where the dog goes, it's a possum, huh? I don't care.